We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a bit of news regarding WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, who has recently found himself in the news for his viral video on social media that basically summed up the fact that Mick Foley believes WWE has a real problem with AEW All Elite Wrestling, and that with the way WWE has been putting together storylines and booking the younger talent in an unfavorable way, WWE is no longer going to be the company that young wrestlers are aspiring to go to. Now apparently Vince McMahon and other backstage WWE officials are not happy whatsoever with Mick Foley basically praising the competition AEW and talking bad upon WWE. In all honesty, there was a lot of truth to what Mick Foley had to say in this video regarding WWE, and it's not as if this is the first time Mick has openly voiced his opinions of WWE. And there is certainly something WWE could take from the criticism and fix, because it is clear that Mick Foley is not against the WWE in any way, shape, or form, and just wants things to improve for the younger superstars trying to make their mark in the company, because as many of you are likely aware and agree with, Mick Foley is definitely right that a lot of the NXT call-ups have not been given a fair chance to make a name for themselves in WWE, and are just overall ruined, with Karrion Kross being a prime example of this. We now have a bit of an update on the whole Kevin Owens situation that has been widely discussed over the past few days. As we had touched upon in one of our previous videos, there has been a lot of speculation that Kevin Owens could be looking to leave the WWE when his current contract expires this January in early 2022, with Owens possibly then signing with AEW. However, according to one of our sources, there is actually a very good chance that Kevin Owens was simply trolling fans on social media with the subtle teases that he is going to be leaving WWE for AEW. And that Kevin Owens has either already signed some kind of a new contract with WWE or is in the process of doing so as we speak. We have been told that out of all the NXT call-ups, Kevin Owens is one of those NXT stars that Vince McMahon was a fan of. And while Kevin Owens has not been the top star by any means on Friday Night SmackDown as of late, Vince reportedly sees the value of Kevin Owens on the WWE roster and does not want him to join AEW whatsoever. Hence why there are rumors right now that WWE are going to be trying to negotiate a new contract with Kevin Owens over the next few months. And in all honesty, this is great news for Kevin Owens, because he may end up being able to get more money from WWE when he signs his new deal, because the fear is definitely there that if WWE don't offer him a lucrative enough deal, Kevin Owens would walk out of the company and join AEW with the likes of Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson. And let us know if you guys think Kevin Owens should stay in WWE, or is AEW a good career option for him at this point? Let us know. Now, as many of you are likely aware, Becky Lynch's return to WWE at SummerSlam 2021 was definitely not the way most fans would have envisioned Becky's return going, especially if Becky Lynch was going to be portraying a babyface moving forward, as Becky used a very heel-like tactic to get the upper hand over Bianca Belair and ended up squashing the highly popular and underrated Bianca Belair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. And ever since then, on Friday Night SmackDown, Becky Lynch has definitely had very heel-like behaviors. However, Becky Lynch has recently received some backlash from fans for some comments she made during a recent interview, with Becky basically stating that she isn't actually a heel, like so many fans feel she has been following her return, with Becky claiming that she has not changed at all, and has just gotten smarter, hence that strategic plan to get the win over Bianca Belair at SummerSlam in a very easy way. Now, as you would expect, if what Becky claims is true, and she isn't even a heel, a lot of fans will be very angry as Bianca Belair's momentum was definitely ruined or at least very damaged with Becky Lynch's bizarre babyface return at SummerSlam, because it simply does not make any sense why Becky would act the way she did and win the SmackDown Women's title the way she did if she was actually a babyface. However, Becky Lynch could just be trolling fans with her comments that she isn't a heel, but let us know if you feel like Becky Lynch has turned heel following her return at SummerSlam, or has she just become a more strategic and smart babyface? Let us know. With the recent rumors that Kevin Owens' WWE contract was getting close to expiring, and possibly that Kevin was considering a move to AEW at the beginning of the new year in 2022, a lot of fans began also speculating about the status of Sami Zayn in WWE, who is one of Kevin Owens' best friends, and most fans felt like if Kevin Owens left WWE, Sami Zayn would soon follow. Now, there was a report recently that Sami Zayn's WWE contract was going to be expiring sometime this fall, although it has now been reported that those rumors are not true, and Sami Zayn's contract is not up that soon. It's not known exactly when Sami's WWE deal is going to be expiring, although there is a very good chance that it's similar to Kevin Owens's, so early 2022 is a very realistic guess. While we did mention earlier that Kevin Owens leaving WWE for AEW may not actually happen, if it does, fans can be assured that Sami Zayn will be leaving WWE as well when the time comes. This week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown started off in a massive way, with a segment involving the returning Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, and Roman Reigns with the Usos. This was definitely a great start for the special SmackDown show, and the storyline and rivalry between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar has been taken to the next level following SmackDown tonight. Quite shockingly, Brock Lesnar basically exposed Paul Heyman to Roman Reigns during their promo together, with Lesnar asking Paul Heyman why he did not tell Roman Reigns that he was going to be at SummerSlam 2021, in which certainly caught the attention of Roman Reigns, and it was very clear that Roman was not happy whatsoever with Paul Heyman for keeping Brock Lesnar's return at SummerSlam a secret, even though Paul Heyman later denied these claims. But nonetheless, the trust is beginning to diminish between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and as we mentioned before, we are beginning to see the alliance between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman begin to crumble, and it won't be long before Paul Heyman finally turns on Roman Reigns and goes back to managing Brock Lesnar, although that won't be happening immediately, and will instead likely occur in the next few weeks most likely. Regardless, while we are getting close to the time when Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman split up, there is no doubt that Roman Reigns has benefited greatly from being paired up with Paul Heyman over the past year, and as he has grown so much with his new heel character on SmackDown, although like we did touch upon before, Roman Reigns is at a point where he really does not particularly need Paul Heyman managing him anymore, and fans can likely agree that Brock Lesnar is far more in need of a mouthpiece and manager. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman have a bond that took years to develop, and while Heyman is trying to make it seem as though he is on Roman Reigns' side, Heyman will be showing his true colors very soon, and he really already started to show his true colors tonight on SmackDown, with Brock Lesnar exposing Paul Heyman for keeping his return a secret to Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar is clearly setting his sights on Roman Reigns' Universal Championship, and there is a very good chance that Lesnar will be the superstar to finally put an end to Roman's historic Universal Championship run. Although some fans feel as though Roman Reigns should be retaining against Brock Lesnar when they do face off against each other. And let us know if you guys are happy to see the alliance between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman slowly start to crumble, and should Brock Lesnar win the Universal title from Roman Reigns when they face off against each other in the not so distant future.